everyone. You are welcome to this edition of Retirement Clues. We thank God for the beginning of another week and for how He has been faithful in helping us. We want to say thank you to as many that have been sending their comments, those that have reached out to us, making inquiries, and those that have supported us so far. I want to say thank you. Today we have come again as part of our determination to deepen awareness on retirement. We'll be looking at something that we feel that should be considered, something that people should give, all stakeholders in the retirement business should give attention to. And the topic we want to discuss today says addressing plights of awaiting retirees. Addressing plights of awaiting retirees. That is what we want to look into today. And before we go into the discussions fully, let's just highlight the news items that we have. The first thing, which is a sharing news, is that we learned that the Senate and the House of Rep have rejected life pension for presiding officers. On this program we kicked against it. Thank God that the members of the Senate and the House of Rep, they've actually sent to reasons to reject this thing that would have been very, very bad, that would have tarnished the image of the National Assembly. For those that kicked against it, we say kudos to them. Another news item we have is what the National Pension Commission is doing as regards defaulters, employers that are not contributing and remitting the employees' pension contributions. According to a report issued by the National Pension Commission, PENCOM, recently, we got to know that they've already concluded on how to take legal actions against 18 defaulting employers. 18 defaulting employers are going to take legal action against them, and they have to tell the court why they are not contributing and remitting their workers' pension contribution. This is as the recovery agent of PENCOM has recovered 984.29 million from defaulters that hitherto that failed to contribute this money to their workers' RSA, that is retirement savings account. They recovered the sum of 984.29 million from these defaulting employers. And the last news item we have here is still from what the PENCOM released. We are meant to know that in the last quarter of 2021, that around 12,824 retirement savings account holders have actually asked for transfer of their RSA account to new PFA. That's 12,824 RSA holders want to move their account to new PFA. These are just the news items that we have. Then going back to the topic we want to discuss today. Like the last program we had with the pension transition arrangement directorate, one of the facilitators said something, and it is actually true. He said a robust pension will really help curb corruption. A robust pension system will really help curb corruption. And on this program too, I think we spoke to it too, how we can leverage the pension system to reduce or minimize the issue of corruption in the country. Because with the way things are, it's as if we are fighting corruption with the left hand while we are supporting it with the right hand, which is not even a good thing to do. Because looking at, let's just the topic we are looking at today, the issues of retirees that are waiting, their pension benefit, monthly pension benefit, due to the issue of accrue pension rights. We have retirees that after they have retired from their job, most of them have to wait up to 2 to 3 years before they begin to earn their monthly pension benefit. Imagine somebody that is not working, and if the person, while the person was not working, the person did not set up any business that he or she has to depend on. What will that person depend on for complete 3 years without any money coming? Somebody that have been receiving monthly salary, be receiving alert every month as salary, and the person now is out of job because he has worked, he has contributed to the national development for 3 years, for 2 years, the person is waiting, no money is coming. How will that person survive? How will that person survive? And if we say we are fighting corruption, don't you think that this will encourage corruption? That as at the time that the person is about to retire, and he sees his colleagues that retire from the same department, tell him, I'm still waiting. No, my money has not 2 years now. I've not gotten anything. I'm still waiting. And the person, there is a fund that is in his or her custody. If the person is not religiously balanced, don't you think that the person will think, let me take this money and hold on to it, pending when they begin to pay me my monthly pension benefit? And that's why we said it's as if the government is fighting corruption with left hand and they're encouraging it with the right hand. And we feel this is not good, it's not proper. And that's why we are highlighting that the issue of these people, it should be a concern to everybody. It should be a concern. Most especially, this thing is common within the public sector. Those in the private sector don't have this type of challenge because they don't have issue of accrue pension right. But those in the public sector, go to states. Even the states that we are clapping for, like the last time now we part of the news we gave was that we learned that it was only 4 states that are faithfully remitting their workers monthly pension contribution. Only 4 states, and in altogether we have 8 states with the FCT that is fully complying with this law. And if you look at these 8 states now that we say that are actually paying their workers through the contributory pension scheme, most of their workers, when they retire 2 years, they've not started earning anything. Even the state like that is leading, we still have some 2 years, some 1 year before they begin to earn their monthly pension benefit. And this is not proper. At that time, the person will just be waiting. I know of a woman, anytime I see her, I'll say, how far have they started paying? Say, we are still waiting. No, it's not. They over 1 year now that she retired. She's still waiting for when she will be called for her to receive her bond and all those processes before she will begin to earn her monthly pension benefit. And the unfortunate thing is that most of them, while they are waiting, some of them don't even live to get that bond. And if you go, like when Lagos State maybe have event where this bond certificate is presented to them, if you see the joy that is in them, as if what they are giving to them is free money, and most of them, because why most of them rejoice is that they even live up to seeing when they get this bond certificate, because many of their colleagues have died while they are waiting. And we call on, most especially the state government, the federal government. I think federal government has done something on the accrue right, but we don't know whether they've started paying them now. This issue of accrue right should be looked into so that our fathers, our mothers, immediately they retire, they will now begin to, earn their monthly pension benefit. How do these people survive? How do they survive? We try to even make inquiry to know how they survive this period of waiting. And we got to know that most of them, they survive via cooperative. They collect cooperative fund, but how much is this cooperative fund? Can they actually keep them? Some of them collect cooperative fund at the time that they're exiting, because we got to know that if today is your last day in the office that you are retired, once you retire, no penny is given to you. Because like in the DBS, they earn gratuity. But in this CPS, Gratuity is not compulsory. The company, your employer can decide to pay you or may not, and most of the people are not paying. That means if you just retire today, as you just retire, you just stop working. That is just all. No penny is given to you. Unless if you have cooperative. Those that have cooperative contribution, they will leverage on cooperative. Another thing we learned that most of them depend on what they save via the voluntary pension contribution. But that voluntary pension contribution has its own issue, because when the guideline came that they should not access 100% of what they contributed, many people decided not to contribute again, because why should I make something voluntary as savings, and when I want to collect it, you now tell me that I should take only 50%. Because of that, most of them stopped. For those that are continuing, they get that 50% that is given to them just to hold themselves while they await their monthly pension benefit. Another thing that we got to know, that they survive, most of them survive on their families. They survive on their families. Some that have investments survive on their investment pending when this money begin to come. And what are we agitating? What is our submission here? What we are saying, our submission is that to actually address their plight, the government should look into this issue of accrued pension rights. All outstanding accrued pension rights should be settled, so that when people just retire, they'll begin to earn their monthly pension benefit. There shouldn't be any period of waiting. That is the first thing that we are saying. Another thing is that some stakeholders have submitted that if the accrued pension is not coming, that what they have in their RSA, they can give them some certain percentage. It's not that somebody cannot just be sick and be waiting for money while he has money in his PF, that is in his RSA. You are telling the person, wait until when the accrued pension leg come, we'll add it together with what you have in your RSA before we begin to pay you. If the person has contribution in his or her RSA, the person can leverage God, like as they give 25% out of job benefit, the percentage should be worked out that these people should take home. Since there is no gratuity, they can use that as gratuity pending when the accrued pension comes, and the balance will be given to them. That is our second submission. Another thing that we are still praying here is that the issue of accrued, that is a gratuity, is not compulsory, but employers, since this challenge is here, employers can begin to give something, even if it is not up to what ought to have been given as gratuity, but they should give benefits to people that are living, so that they will have something to depend on, pending when the accrual right issue is settled. Another thing we are submitting here, we are praying here, is this issue of voluntary contribution. That policy should be looked into, so that more people will be encouraged to contribute. That act of telling them to access 50% actually put many people off from contributing. It should be a savings, and if it is save towards this waiting period, they should be giving the money, not that you just tell them 50%, and 50% should be tied to their retirement, and that one will still be waiting until when accrued pension issue is sorted out. The voluntary thing, some people are already asking that the 100% should be given to the contributor. That is another leg to it. Then they will still employ the government to look at the issue of social security. We know recently the government took a step in that direction, and what we are looking towards the implementation, so that our aged parents will have something to fall back on. This issue of social security should be put in place, so that these people will have something, even while they are waiting for their monthly benefit, they have something to enjoy. And the father of it all is that there should be improvement in the economy, because all the things that are happening are putting pressure on people. Imagine a retiree now, how they are queuing. You want to buy fuel. Such things should not be. No power supply. They are buying the fuel to even pump water. Most of them, they don't even have public tap. They have their own borehole. Even the fuel to pump the water is not there. No light to pump the water. All these things should be looked into. The economy should be looked into. There should be improvement in the economy, so that life will be comfortable for even those that are working and the retirees. We want to actually stop here, and we we pray that the plight of awaiting retirees should be looked into. I remain the promoter of this program, Mr. Chusudo Okonta. Will continue to solicit your support, continue to support us as usual. You can reach us through our numbers, which are 0054 9557 and 07033253527. Our email address is ispenonline@gmail.com. Remain blessed as we come again your way in the future.